What do you think in your life has been your biggest gamble?
I mean, moving to Charlotte in 2012 at 18 years old was a gamble, but I could go back to the farm at that time if I needed to. My family was very open, like, go chase it. We'll be here. There'll be a spot for you. Now, after a few years, I realized if I went back, I was going to start low man on the totem pole. And I would, if I went back at any time in the last 5 or 6 years, it would be to work for my brother. My brother's 6 years younger than me, but if I go back, I'm working under him, and he's earned that seniority. But in my career, it was 2019. I started the season running for Xfinity points for a team I had driven for. That was my 4th year. I was supposed to drive for another team that in 2019. It didn't work out. The team shut down. So I went back to my old team, underfunded, lower budget, but it was solid. It was secure. I knew I could go race every week, 33 times a year in the Xfinity Series, and I could run 10th place on a good day. Well, I also was running some truck races. I was running all the truck races for this small team that was just starting. It was really their 2nd year, maybe 3rd year, called Nice Motorsports, and we won a race. We won my first truck race in 2019. I started racing trucks in 2011. 2019, we won our first truck race, and I'm like, man, I should have put points in trucks, but I'm already Xfinity. It's not worth the change. Let's just keep going. And the truck team is on me about changing points. Let's run for a championship. We've built it. We have a good crew chief now. We've got the team. We don't have a lot of sponsors, but we have the funding we need. We'll be okay. And a few weeks later, we run a few more races, and I decided to switch points. So leaving that previous team was a big decision. I had to. It wasn't pleasant to tell that team owner that I wanted to switch points. He was not in favor of me doing it. He did not want me to leave. It was going to hurt him and me in the short term. But financially, career-wise, it was not the logical choice. But I saw a path that I could win again, and I wanted that. I wanted that chance to win. And the truck series and that Nice Motorsports 45 truck gave me that opportunity.
You took the gamble.
So it was short-term pain for sure, but we won again. We won Iowa, and we win Iowa, we dominate the race, and we get thrown out. We fail post-race tech. First time in 70 years that they've
how'd you fail
take the win away. They had changed the rule recently. So we failed by the truck being too low in post-race tech. The truck series rules say you start the race at 5.5 inches off the ground. They call it tech height. On the track, you can be whatever you want. So we go on the track, and the truck scrapes the ground. All the way around the track, you're scraping the ground. But when you stop again and they go through tech, it has to naturally raise back up. 5.5 inches. Well, it came up about 4 inches, and that's not legal.
Dang.
Doesn't have
4 inches isn't that bad.
Doesn't have any effect on the on-track. It's just the rules, and we failed. So what do? We go to the next race. We take the same truck. We take the same setup. We tweak a few things to just help it come up after the race. Same springs and shocks, though. Go to St. Louis, and we win again. The gamble paid off. We end up running second in the championship. And those races, we were able to win 4 races that year, 3 more after I switched points, is ultimately what Chip Ganassi Racing needed to see to hire me in 2021, 2 years later, to drive their Cup car.